Why do we still believe in a sky daddy? Here are 4 arguments for God's existence. Hey, my name is Casey. I'm a former pastor with over 20 years experience in the ministry and or in training for such. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in biblical studies, and I want to teach you how to read, study, interpret, and apply the Bible. So let's answer the question, is there a sky daddy? Does God exist? Philosophers have been making arguments for God's existence for centuries, and here are 4 of the most common. These are classic rational ways people have reasoned about a higher power. So let's break them down one by one in a way that's clear and makes you think about them. First up is the ontological argument. This is credited to Anselm. This one starts with the idea of God itself. Picture this. God, by definition, is the greatest possible being, like the ultimate. Nothing tops him. Now, if something is greater when it actually exists, as opposed to just being a thought in my mind, then God has to exist. If he only existed in your imagination, he wouldn't be the greatest possible being. My mind can conceive of God, so he must actually exist to be that ultimate being. Now, that one's a brain twister, but it's all about how the very idea of God implies his reality. The second one's called the cosmological argument. This is from Thomas Aquinas. This one's about the universe itself. Look around. Everything we see is an effect, caused by something else. But nothing can cause itself, right? And we can't have an infinite chain of causes going back forever. There has to be a first cause that started everything. Something uncaused that kicked everything into motion. We call that first cause God. The Bible backs this up in Acts 17, verses 24 through 29, and in Romans 1, verse 20, pointing to a purposeful, intelligent design behind the cosmos. Third is the teleological argument, or the argument from design, often linked to William Paley. Imagine you're walking and you find a watch on the ground. Its gears, its precision, it screams someone made this on purpose. And then you look at the universe, the way planets orbit, the way ecosystems thrive, the intricacies of DNA and how the code works. That kind of intricate design suggests a purposeful, intelligent designer. And given how mind-blowingly complex the universe is, that designer must have incredible power and intellect. Romans 2:14 through 15 hints at this, showing how even our sense of purpose points to something bigger. Finally, the moral argument. You ever notice how we all seem to have some sense of right and wrong? Like some things are just objectively bad no matter the culture or time. This argument says that for there to be absolute moral laws, like murder is wrong, there has to be an absolute moral behind them. Our human minds aren't absolute. We argue and we disagree. So there must be a higher power, a moral lawgiver we call God, who sets the standard. Without that, morality is just our opinion, and deep down we all know it's more than that. These arguments build a case that's been debated for ages. What does the Bible say? Well, from Genesis 1:1 to Psalm 90, verse 2, Acts 17:24, the Bible assumes God's existence as the foundation for everything. As powerful as these other arguments are, we must come to God by faith. Hebrews 11:6 says, "Now without faith it is impossible to please God, since the one who draws near to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him." So what do you think? Are these arguments convincing to you? And what are your thoughts on coming to God by faith? Please drop your answer in the comments. Also be sure to like, share, and to follow.